Hello and welcome to Cheating Expose. There was a time when I truly believed my family was unbreakable. The thought of being unfaithful to my wife never even crossed my mind. I respected her deeply and cherished her profoundly. My wife, Vera, was not only wise but also an exceptional cook. After a few years, once our daughter was a bit older, Vera decided to return to work. This was entirely her choice, and I supported her wholeheartedly. Our daughter, Olga, was a joy to have around. She was well-behaved and consistently excelled in school. Life felt nearly perfect. However, as life often does, things began to take an unexpected turn. Toward the end of Olga's fifth-grade year, her history teacher, Mr. Dmitri, reached out to parents for assistance with classroom maintenance. There were tasks like painting, wallpapering, and minor repairs that needed to be completed before the start of the next school year. Unfortunately, Vera's vacation didn't start for another 10 days, and we had already planned a family trip to the seaside. Despite this, Vera eagerly volunteered to help. In total, there were 7 parents, including her, who would take care of the renovations. Once that was done, the rest of the parents would return to give the classroom a thorough cleaning. When Vera told me about the project, I could hear the excitement in her voice. "That sounds wonderful, Vera. I'll do my best to help too," I responded, even though I knew I'd be tied up with work. Instead, I offered to contribute by providing materials. Since I worked at a TV warehouse, I could get supplies at a discount that we managed to purchase almost everything we needed, except for the paint. I suggested that Vera wait a little longer, as I was expecting a shipment of high-quality paint at a discounted rate. Vera was thrilled and dived into the renovation project with enthusiasm. Every evening, she would come home and share the progress with me. "Honey, the classroom is transforming before my eyes. Olga will be over the moon when she sees it in September," she exclaimed. Her excitement was contagious, and I shared her anticipation, looking forward to seeing the final result myself. Finally, the much-anticipated paint arrived at the warehouse. Wanting to surprise Vera, I decided to personally deliver it to the school during lunch. I loaded the paint into my car and drove over. Luckily, the security guard recognized me and let me through without any trouble. I was completely unprepared for the surprise that awaited me. As I approached the classroom, I heard distinct noises mixed with soft moans, which froze me in shock. Through a small gap in the door, I saw my wife in the arms of her teacher. No further explanation was needed. At first, I was overwhelmed with anger and felt an urge to burst in and confront them. However, I managed to hold myself together. I set the paint down by the door and left quietly. That evening, when I got home, disgust churned inside me. With our child already asleep, Vera and I retreated to the kitchen, closing the door behind us. She looked at me with a grave expression and said, "I guess you know everything." "Yes," I replied. "I saw it all. I didn't want to make a scene, so I just left the paint and walked away." "Honey, please believe me," she pleaded. It was completely unexpected. They finished early and the other parents had already left for lunch. I ended up alone with him, and here's the strangest part. He and I were classmates, though I'd never mentioned it before. "I don't know why I kept it from you," she explained. She went on to share that they had decided to have tea and talk about old times. He had admitted that he once had feelings for her, but things had taken an unexpected turn. Her voice choked as she added, "I'm so sorry." I don't know what came over me. Tears streamed down her face, and I felt a storm of emotions: shock, anger, hurt. In the end, I couldn't bring myself to forgive her. A few days later, she packed her things and went to stay with her mother, taking our daughter with her. Naturally, we didn't tell Olga anything. I had no interest in digging deeper into the details of their relationship or stirring up drama with the teacher. Vera and he had attempted to explore a connection, but it hadn't worked out. Life is full of unexpected changes, sometimes even in places as ordinary as a classroom renovation. As the saying goes, trust but verify. Scandal isn't always the answer. especially when anger drives the impulse. Confrontation can create a mess that's hard to clean up. Forgiving infidelity is a deeply personal decision, and in my case, I simply couldn't. Don't forget to subscribe